Hi guys, it's Sam here from Train of Thought, helping the world of work to be less stressful. Whenever I'm really stressed, I ask myself one question. Why on earth do I have to feel this? How is this helping me? Can't I feel calm and collected all the time? Why do I have to feel this tension in my shoulders, the lack of sleep, the churning in my stomach? How can this be helping me? Now, to understand stress, its point and what it's for, we need to think back to where we came from, where we as humans came from. Because of course the world wasn't always the way it is now. We live in the safest world almost imaginable, and that goes for almost all of us. It's much safer than comparable conditions at any other point in history. Now, some of us are safer than others, but that doesn't change the fact that things have got safer and better for most humans. Now, that was very different. It was a very different world before. It was incredibly dangerous. We were hunter-gatherers and we were competing for water and food with other things, a lot of which wanted to eat us. So stress was an evolutionary advantage to us and the other animals who made it through. If you felt stressed, it could give you just an edge, even if that was a second, that could keep you alive. Think of a savannah or a plain and a prehistoric person there, and they go over to a watering hole to grab a drink of water to save them from the beating down sun. And suddenly they notice out the corner of the eye, the long grass just over there starts rustling. Now, if you didn't feel stress, if you didn't feel fear, it'd be really easy to just keep drinking, or maybe just wander over nonchalantly to take a peek into the grass. But stress suddenly makes us stop. It makes us go, gosh, what was in there? Could it hurt me? And that extra beat, that second where your kind of physiology changes and your priorities change into this real survival mode, is what probably kept our ancestors alive. And this is not obsolete now. We crossing the road requires a stress response. It's really dangerous. Getting behind the wheel of a car, which is the most dangerous thing most of us do on a daily basis, requires our stress response for us to be able to do it in a way that keeps us alive. So stress is enormously important, not only for keeping us alive, but for getting us off the sofa in the morning, to go to work and do what we need to do to keep fed, to keep our families healthy and in a home. All of this requires a bit of stress. And this is the point about stress. A little bit of stress, not too often, really useful. Because if you plot stress against effectiveness, a tiny bit of stress makes us more effective. But too much stress starts to actually decrease our performance. And the same is true of length of time of stress. The response evolved to be quite short term. There'd be danger and that danger would go away. And what we're finding is, no matter how safe everything is, and the fact that we all work in offices rather than scavenging for food with lions and tigers and bears, we're feeling stress for really long periods of time. It's not going away. And that is where the problem is. It's not so much that stress exists, it's that we're feeling it for such long periods of time and we're feeling it so often. And that is the real thing we need to get a handle on. Because when you feel stress for really long periods of time, you build up what's called an allostatic load. And what this is a stress response. The hormones, the chemicals going around your body when you're stressed prevent the body from being able to repair itself, to repair the normal wear and tear that happens to your body just through normal life. So it's really important that we embrace stress for what it's good for and what it's used for, and we find ways to avoid it just kind of lingering on for long periods of time and starting to actually really hurt us. Again, it changes the question away from why does stress exist to why is the type of stress that's hurting us so common? Now, as always, I'd love to hear from you down below. Thanks so much for listening. Please leave your comments, like and subscribe. There'll be plenty more for you soon. And in the meantime, before we speak again, take care.